We want to do fax testing, um, whether we want to generate faxes or analyze faxes or both. So we're going to show you both. We're going to show you generating faxes and then also tapping in to analyze the fax. Um, so the main product that we're using, the hardware, is what you see on the screen is called our Dual UTA. Connects to a Windows PC through USB, and we call it a dual UTA because it has two sides, side one and side two. All the interfaces on side one are replicated on side two, and they're all independent. So you, through the software, what we call our VQuad software, you specify what you want, which interface you want on side one, which interface you want on side two. They don't have to work together. They can be independent. So side one can be do one thing, side two something completely different, whatever you want to do. And changing the interfaces it's very dynamic. You can change it actually right from the script, right from our automated script. On the interfaces, we have a bunch of different things. We have the 2-wire analog, which is what we're going to be showing here. So it's basically simulating a phone or emulating an analog phone, 2-wire phone. And then there's a monitor port in the middle where we can monitor or listen in to the transmit or receive on side one and the transmit or receive on side two. And that's also software selectable, what you're listening to. So that's the dual UTA. Again, it plugs into a PC. Okay. So getting into the actual fax itself. So what we're going to be doing is for this simple test is we've got our VQuad software. Actually, it's running on a laptop. We've got the dual UTA connected. And then we're using one dual UTA, so side one and side two of that dual UTA, going through a line simulator. So we're using this Viking line simulator for 2-wire. So we're going out and back in, and then what we'll do, so we'll make a call, 2-wire call from side one to side two, and we'll once the call is established, we will send fax from side one and receive fax on side two. And the fax is basically just a TIFF file. So we send the TIFF file through, it establishes a fax session, and then we receive a TIFF file at the end. So it's a true fax session. Now I'm showing that we're on both sides of the call. Obviously, we could be on one side of the call and the other side could be a fax machine. We support up to 33.6. So and all the different data rates. So we can definitely support the fax machine, whether we're sending the fax or receiving the fax. And I'll also show you a test we're actually going through real network. So my first test will be through a Viking, but then I'll show you another where I have a test that I continuously run 24/7 in my office. And that's actually one end is connected to Comcast and the other end is connected to Verizon. So we're actually going through the network and we're doing fax and voice during the same call. Now, the other thing that we're going to be showing you, so I'm sending and receiving the fax here, but then I'm also going to tap into the line using another dual UTA connected to the same system. I'm going to tap into one of the lines. So I'm just using an RJ11 to splitter RJ11 on one end, and then that splits out to two RJ11s. And I'm tapping into one of the RJ11s. I'm putting the second dual UTA into what we call our tap mode, which is a non-intrusive mode, and it just listens. So all it does is it listens. It doesn't affect the audio. It doesn't affect anything else. And from there, then we can record the fax session to a PCM file, to a raw audio file. And we can then use another piece of software we have called Fax Scan. And John will show you that later, where we can analyze the fax and provide you detailed information about that fax session. Whether the fax passes or fails, we can provide you information about it. So that's what we're going to be going through. I will bring up this system here. So this is my first system, and this is the VQuad software, and I have two Dual UTAs connected. So the first Dual UTA are these first two devices, and you can see it's the same serial number, port 1 and port 2. And the second Dual UTA, I'm only setting up one port. Okay, so I actually have another port on the second Dual UTA I can do something with. We just didn't set it up. So I have two Dual UTAs, 3 ports, and again, I can have up to 12 ports, which is 6 Dual UTAs. Okay, and they're all set up for FXO or 2-wire. And here's where you can actually change which interface you're using on the Dual UTA, whether it's mobile, Bluetooth, handset, the 4-wire analog balance, things like that. So it's very easy to change that. So now what I'll do is, so I'm looking right now at so device 1 and device 2, FXO1 and FXO2, they're connected to the Viking, to the line simulator. And then device 3, what we call FXO tap, that is tapping into the line. So what I did was I ran a script on that unit where it actually put it into tap mode. So it's just sitting there, and you can see down here, it's in a connected state because it's just tapping, and it's got some noise on the line, a very low level of noise on the line. It's just sitting there waiting, and you'll see while we run the test, it'll start recording when the fax is going through, and then we'll take a look at that recorded file. But on device 1, this is where I'm actually going to run the fax. And let me just bring this up. This is our script. This is our script editor. It's all point and click. So for instance, here's a pause right here. If I want to change the pause timer, I just double click. It brings up a screen, and I can change how many seconds I'm going to pause for, and then save that. So everything on here is point and click, and these are all the commands for our script. And you can see there are a lot. So we can do a lot of things with the script. You can create very simplistic or very complex type of testing. And again, we can help you with it. We can create the scripts for you. We do that without cost. Just let us know, this is what we want to do. This is how we want to set up. And we'll create something with a lot of comments. But what we're going to do here is we're going to, again, do a do loop. We're actually going to load the script on the far end as well. So we're going to run both scripts from this one script. The far end, all he's going to do is wait for an incoming call and answer. Okay, that's all he's doing. Wait for an incoming call. When he gets an incoming call, answer the call. The near end script, this script, he is going to place the call right here. So I'm going to place a call, and then I'm going to wait for a connect. I'm waiting for the far end to actually answer the call. Once I get a connect, so this wait, that's sort of a conditional. I can wait for a lot of different things. Wait for an incoming call, things, and I'm going to wait for 30 seconds. If after 30 seconds, the call is connected, I'll go into this if and I'll continue. Otherwise, I'll jump down here and I'll say it's a failure. You'll get failed calls. So if the call doesn't go through, if the fax doesn't go through, you'll get a failed error, and you can look at those. So let's say the call goes through. I'll pause, and then I'm going to start my fax. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to record. I'm going to record on the third device. So I'm now controlling not only the two devices with the fax, I'm going to control the third device that is tapped in for recording. And I'm going to tell that device to start recording the fax to a PCM so we can analyze. Then I'm going to start my receive on device 2 to receive fax. And here's where you can specify your rate, or you can specify your modem type. Okay, so you can specify your rate or modem type. You can specify whether ECM is on or off. You also have phase reversal on or off, and the image coding. Most people don't care about this. Most people keep ECM on, but we're test equipment, so we have certain people that want to play around. Let's change this. Let's do that. That's why we have these things here. And then here's the fax we're going to receive to this fax name, test.tiff. Okay, in this directory. Now we can also, right from here, we don't actually need the tap, but I'm showing it to you, because right from here, I also just capture it right from here to a PCM if I wanted to. If I'm sending or receiving fax, I can also capture it directly to a PCM. So that's another thing. So here I'm receiving, and then over here, I'm going to send the fax. Okay, I can actually also turn the CNG tone off. Okay, what happens? Okay, so again, we're test equipment. We can do whatever we want. You know, we can do all these different odd things. Okay, then I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for the fax to be done. Specifically, the transmit fax. I'm going to wait 240 seconds. It's not going to take that long. That's what my wait is. Once that's done, I will. I'm going to stop the record for the tap, and then if the fax completed, I'll say fax was successful. I'll generate a comment that says fax was successful. Otherwise, I'll say fax failed. I'll make sure that the faxes have been stopped regardless. And then down here, I will stop the script and disconnect the call, pause for 30 seconds, and then go back up. Now, there's a breakpoint here too. I passed that up, but I'm going to go back to that now. So let's say at any point during this call, the fax or the call drops, not the fax, but the call drops. So for some reason the call drops. We actually have a command here to we have a watch to take a look to see if the call drops. And if the call drops, I'm going to jump right down to this breakpoint and say, hey, we got a call drop, and then go back and go to the next loop. So I can tell you if the call failed, if the call dropped, if the fax failed. All those things are available as part of the test. And this just gets saved to a text file. Now over here, and then once I'm ready, I'll start the script, and you'll see what's going on down here in the bottom left. Over here, I also have fax events. So this is going to show me all the fax events when we start. Okay, as they happen, you'll see all the fax events, and it goes over here where it'll tell you what state your fax is, what the modem is, the speed, the completed pages. We're just sending a simple one-page fax. You can send multi-page faxes, no problems. And right now I'm looking at all the faxes. I can also filter in and just look at, or I'm looking at all the ports. I can just look at port 1 or port 2 or whatever, but I'll just look at all the ports. And all these different types of screens, you can save the events to a log. So you can capture everything directly to a log, either in real time or afterwards. You can save it to a text file log, so you can take a look at it. Okay, so let us now start this. And you'll see I'm running on side 1 and side 2 now. So it already started the script on side 2. I'm placing a call on side 1. Side 2 is going to see an incoming call. There's my ring back. There's my incoming. I'm going to answer the call. This is my levels here that you're seeing here in the volume column. And now I'm going to start the fax. I pause. Now I'm starting. The fax is going. I'm capturing on side 3 here. And here you can see the fax moving along. There's a lot of things going on at once. Sorry about that. A lot of things going on at once. So the fax is moving. I'm capturing the fax. I can see the levels on side 1 and side 2 here. And the fax shouldn't take that long. Fax is done. The recording has stopped. I'm going to kill the call. Pausing right now. Now I'm going to kill the call. Call is now killed. Now I'm going to wait 30 seconds and I'll start a new one. Over here on the fax results, it'll tell me that the send was successful and the receive was successful, and it'll show me all the events through the fax. So there was stuff going on here when the fax was happening. Over here, you can see the call being generated and received. Then you can see the levels in the volume bar here. And on device 3, you can see where I started recording the fax to a PCM. Now we're starting again. The loop is going again. And here again, I'm placing a call, and then I'm going to see the incoming call and answer. Yep, right there. There's the incoming call. I'm going to answer it, and then I go through the fax again. So that's basically the process, and you can continue doing this over and over and over again. And this is just for fax. I didn't add any voice into this one. Okay. So real quick, what I'll show you as that's going, because that could just run forever. Let me go into my receive fax directory. So in my receive fax, I received a TIFF file and I received a PCM file. Those were my 2 latest files right here, 427. Okay. So if I open up the TIFF file, that's the fax I sent, sample fax. Again, that's a single page. You can send multi-pages. We also have like a CCITT fax, but that's the fax that I sent. That's what I recorded. And then if I go to my PCM, bring that up, just bringing it up in Adobe Audition, and you can see the that's the capture of the entire fax to a PCM file, and John can hear it. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
So, and again, this is just a single page, so it's a short fax. Okay. And then John will then analyze this using the fax scan in a couple minutes. So that's basically what we're doing, and this is still running. So that is fax. Now, like I said, I can also show you. Here's a system I'm running in my office where what it's doing a fax. As you can see here, I did a fax. That's a multi-page fax. And then it is doing, it is sending and recording audio to perform voice quality. So you can see it's recording voice here, transmitting voice here. Okay, so it's doing fax and then voice in the same call. And I'm doing the bi-directional voice. So voice in one way and then voice in the other way. And I'm doing it twice. Okay, so and this, like I said, this is going through a Comcast and Verizon network, so it's going through real network. And then the voice file, so the fax is going through, and we're getting all the results of the fax. But the voice file, we're then taking that voice file and we're sending it to another system we have where it's going to analyze the voice and provide us a voice quality. So that's what this is. So this is our voice quality software, and it's using a Polka algorithm, POLQA. So this is an ITU specified algorithm for analyzing a recorded voice against the sent voice. So we have to be at both ends of the call. But it doesn't have to be close. We could be at 2 different locations, and one end could actually be VoIP and the other end could be 2-wire or whatever. It doesn't matter what the 2 ends are, as long as we're at both ends and we can capture, we can send and capture. And then what this does is this analyzes the captured voice against the sent and provides a score. And it's a score of 1 to 5. And so we're getting a 4.27, which is very good, or actually it's excellent. It's considered excellent voice quality for 2-wire. And this is actually running in an automated fashion. So as soon as the files are being sent to this system, the software will grab the file, analyze it based on the reference file or the sent file, and then provide the score. Now, the last thing that I'll show you here, so we have that system doing voice, and it keeps, so it's now, I'll show you this real quick. So it just made a new call. Okay, so now it is, it's going to go through a couple things at the beginning, and then it'll start a new fax. So some of the other things that this will do is it'll do a level test. It'll look at the FXO line current and line voltage. So we could do all these other things as well. These are all standard within our system. So now it's doing the fax. So it's now sending and receiving fax. You can see this moving. You can see the audio going here. We can also look at signal level, noise level, audio dropout. We could do delay measurements, one-way or round-trip delay. All of these things are available with this solution. So from here you can see. So it's gonna, you're seeing here, we just got page 1, and it's gonna go through another page as well. So this will be a longer fax. We'll go through a couple pages, and then we'll finish that fax. So there's a lot of things that you can add. Again, it's whatever you want to put into the script, whatever way you want to do. We can also run these the calls manually too. So the fax is done. You can see there were 2 pages here. Fax is completed. So now what we're going to do is move forward to do some of the other audio tests within the same script. Now, all these results that I'm showing can be sent to a database, or what we call our central system, which is located at your location. And you can then look at the results. So I'm going to look at the fax. So here's all my fax results. Here is the fax that I just ran there. No, it's this one, FXO and FXO 1 and 2. That's going through the Viking line emulator. You can see I'm running it every minute or so. You'll see a new set of facts. You'll see the send and receive, no errors, all the information. These faxes, that's going through the Comcast and Verizon line, and you're also seeing all the information. That actually has a GPS on it, so that's why you're seeing some GPS information here. Okay, so that's fax. Then I can also show the polka results for that system, and you can see all my polka scores along with a bunch of other metrics, audio metrics. And this is all in a database, so I can analyze this information. I can generate reports with this information. In fact, I can show you here. Let me see, custom reports. Let me look at the last 24 hours, and let me, yeah, okay. So, yeah, so here's my, I got multiple systems running. It'll show me how many completed calls, connected calls, incoming calls, fax done, fax success, things like that. I can generate a bar graph. I can generate a line graph. Here's my polka score, which seems to be pretty good over a long period of time. We had one outlier right there. So, and this is all customized. It's directly from, this is a web browser, by the way. So directly from the web browser, you can customize what you want to see, what graphics, everything else. And then you can send this out to a PDF or an Excel. You could even set it up so that every X number of hours or X number of calls, or every morning at 8 a.m., you generate a report and you email it. Every 200 calls, in my script. Every 200 calls after my loop, I'm going to generate a custom report. Okay. Based on that period of 200 calls, and I'm going to send it to my email account right there. And so I get a PDF, and it shows you if there are any issues, and what the fax look like, what the voice look like, the polka scores. And that actually helps me because every so often those lines go dead. So I'll get a PDF and it'll show me that, no, I didn't have any calls, or I had a bunch of failed calls, and I'll go back and I'll see that one of my lines died. So on the Verizon line, or mostly the Verizon line, so I have to just reset that line. So yeah, so this is basically all the different types of testing you can do with this solution.
So we have the VBA038 is the analog, the PKB104 is the PCAP version. So that's the VoIP capture part of it. Well, there's sort of two parts of FaxScan. It's a standalone application. So basically, there's an executable, and you give it a command line, and what that looks like basically. So it's a PCM. So you give it the file name, and the encoding, and ROBs are linear 16-bit files, and then what you want to output. So they have the fax letter and the TIFF file, and the fax letter will give you the different, I'll give you a summary. So there was a digital identification signal, digital command signal, disconnect, total lines, and all that good stuff. And then you can go in and see all the different protocols that were sent, and what was decoded from those. Okay. And also you get the tap, so that's TIFF, so that's what he sent. There's actually, we have another application called the voice band analysis, and this is actually the same part number. It's VBA032, and you can give it a, basically say fax scan, identify what your recorded file is. So Rob has sent me this file with 16-bit Intel. I gave it the file name, said run, and said the file name, when it was sent, and it goes in. So V17, modified read, the ECM is enabled, page size, and all that good stuff. And it gets a successful decode, and it'll also decode the TIFF image for you. And the on the T38 side, I'll say, okay, so for SIP message, if you have a PCAP file that has, say, 2 or 3 fax calls, you can actually go in the command line and say, I want to decode call number 1, 2, 3, and it'll go in and decode all the files for you. So that's a bit simpler for you, but the output will still be the same. It'll generate a fax ladder diagram for the T30 protocols.